The next thing you need to do when you're asked by a client how much you charge for a particular project, say website copywriting, the next thing you want to do is you want to come up with, that's very distracting, lady. Someone took a photo of me. Oh, God. It'll be a good blooper, maybe. People are always asking me, how much do you charge for your copywriting service? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that question right now. So here's what you do to calculate what you're going to charge per project. The first thing you need to do is decide, what do you charge per hour? What is your hourly rate? Now, if you're a beginner copywriter, you might feel comfortable charging $25 an hour, $30 an hour, maybe even $50 an hour. Really is up to you and your level of experience. But let's say you're going with $25 an hour. That's your hourly rate. So let's say you decide your hourly rate is $25 an hour. Or maybe it's $30 an hour or $50 an hour. Whatever you feel comfortable charging, that's your hourly rate that you've decided. The next thing you want to do is you want to calculate how many hours you're going to spend working on one particular project. So let's say the client comes along and they want you to write a brochure. Well, you're going to estimate how many hours it's going to take you to complete that job. Now, when you're doing this, you also want to factor in a few things that you may not have thought of, and that is the research. That might be reviewing their previous brochures, it might be going through their website, it might be doing some market research. You want to calculate how many hours you're going to spend on the research. You also want to factor in how much communication and consulting you need to do with the client in that research phase as well. So calculate in how many hours that might take you also. And then of course you have the writing stage. How long does it take you as an individual copywriter, and everybody's different, to write a brochure? You might want to practice this before you get your first paying client, so you have some idea of how long it takes you. Then of course, what you do is quite simple. You multiply your hourly rate by how many hours this project takes you, and of course, remembering to factor in the research time and also the client communication time, and then you're going to get an overall figure. That is the figure you give to the client when they ask you how much you charge to write brochure copy. So if you're a beginner, this is very helpful because now you have some kind of formula for knowing what to charge. And it's different from copywriter to copywriter depending on your hourly rate, obviously, and number of hours. But if you've been in this game for a number of years and you still have anxiety and stress and worry when it comes to quoting because you don't know if you're quoting too high and that you might not get the job, or if you're quoting too low that they say yes and you're going to feel, like you're getting shortchanged here even though you're the one who quoted them. If this happens to you, then something you could do that I did a number of years ago is create a copywriting rate card. And this is something you might keep to yourself and not advertise anywhere, but this is a rate card where you know immediately how much you charge for most services. For example, with me, website copywriting, if someone comes along to me and they say they want website copywriting done, then I know exactly how much I charge for that and I can quote it off the top of my head. Or if it's SEO copywriting or video scripts or anything else, I know what I charge. So I don't have to do the calculations. So now you have a simple formula for calculating and figuring out how much to charge for all kinds of copywriting jobs. I hope this has helped you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next copywriting video.